We are predicting all the major NFL awards for the 2025 season. We'll be predicting Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie, Defensive Rookie, Coach of the Year, and MVP. But we're saving that MVP for last. And we are going to start with the Offensive Player of the Year, where, again, lots of great options. Okay, there's a ton of great offensive players in the NFL, but the one that I think is going to have the biggest year resides in Atlanta, Joe. And he is the running back in Atlanta. It is Bijan Robinson, the running back from Atlanta. He is my Offensive Player of the Year. Listen, if anybody has watched Bijan Robinson play football, you know he's one of the three best backs in the NFL. He can knock the top off a defense. He can catch passes. You watch him just in drills, the clips that he's done in drills of him going viral, the four straight jukes that he had on that one drill was absolutely insane. And again, Bijan Robinson, one of the best backs in football. So that is my Offensive Player of the Year, Joe. Who do you got as your Offensive Player of the Year in the NFL?
I think that we really see that running backs have that ability because they can get all-purpose yards, right? Get the rushing yards, get the receiving yards. But there's a guy who I think is going to play out of his mind for his quarterback and his team. This guy is going to win Offensive Player of the Year purely because if Saquon Barkley doesn't have the year he had, if Derrick Henry's not right there behind him, I think Jamar Chase, after the year he had last year, is 100% in the running, and he is my pick right now because I looked at the schedule. They play two defenses I'm concerned about, right? They got New England with Carlton Davis and Gonzalez, and then they have the Broncos with Jahdae Barron and Patrick Surtain. There's not a lot of difficult secondaries they face the rest of that schedule in 2025. So I think Jamar Chase is absolutely going to eat, even with T. Higgins on the other side. I think he goes double-digit touchdowns. I think he closes in on that 2,000-yard receiving mark. I think he goes over 100 receptions. And I am calling it right now. Jamar Chase, the wide receiver, is going to win the Triple Crown. Yards, touchdowns, catches.
Back-to-back. That would be back-to-back Triple Crowns for Jamar Chase. That would be you basically lock him into the Hall of Fame if he goes back-to-back years with Triple Crowns. But that's the type of player Jamar Chase is. And like you mentioned, the Bengals defense is going to be so bad. Like, he's going to have to put up big numbers for them to even compete in games. So yeah, Jamar Chase is a great pick. Obviously, we don't have Sammy here for this episode, but he did send in his picks as well. He picked Puka Nacua, the wide receiver from the Los Angeles Rams, to win the Offensive Player of the Year. And I actually like that pick because you watch Puka throughout the regular season. When he's healthy, Puka puts up just as big a numbers as any wide receiver in the NFL. So if he can stay healthy for a full 17 games this year, I would not be surprised at Puka Nacua.
Cooper Kupp type year.
There you go. There's a Triple Crown year for you, the Cooper Kupp 2021 year. For the Defensive Player of the Year, we're going to move to that award, and I'm going to stay in the same team that Sammy was just at. I'm going with Jared Verse, the defensive end from the Los Angeles Rams. His raw stats last year weren't like anything that you really look at and was like, wow, those are amazing sack numbers or anything like that. But all the under the hood stuff, his PFF grade, all of his pressure metrics, all say Jared Verse is one of the best edge rushers this year. So I think he's going to have the more tangible stats this year to back it up. I think he's going to go 18 sacks this year. I think he's going to absolutely dominate off the edge for the Los Angeles Rams. And I'm a little bit biased because Jared Verse and the Los Angeles Rams came to my home/gym/work here on Maui. And I have real quick funny story about Jared Verse. He was benching on one of our benches that we have in the gym. He's repping out 335 just like it's nothing. 335, he racks it. Somebody who I didn't recognize gets in, he works in with him, and he gets onto his second rep of 335, and he's like struggling with it. And Jared Verse is just sitting there staring at him like this, not even like thinking about helping him whatsoever.
He dies.
Yeah, literally. So he ends up getting his last rep up and racking it, and Jared Verse goes, I was going to let you die under there. Straight face, like not even joking about it. He like, I was going to let you die under there. So that's the kind of mindset that Jared Verse is going to bring to this Los Angeles Rams defense. I absolutely love it, and I think Jared Verse is going to be my Defensive Player of the Year this year, Joe.
A good pick. It's a great pick. Like you said, Jared Verse absolutely just wreaked havoc in the playoffs for the Rams. I think that, there's a lot of things that you liked from him, especially, seeing him develop as the season went along. However, I do not agree with you. The Defensive Player of the Year is a guy who's playing for a contract. He's playing to show that they should have paid him more money. They're playing to show that should have been an extension, not a restructure. Trey Hendrickson is about to have the scorched earth of a season, and I'm calling it now. Trey Hendrickson is going to lead the league in sacks this year. Trey Hendrickson is your Defensive Player of the Year.
I like the pick, Joe. I like the pick. Like you mentioned, he's going to have a big year, and there's going to be a lot of games where teams are going to be dropping back to throw a lot, especially trying to throw against that secondary in Cincinnati, because that is not the strength of their team. That's for sure. Let's go to Sammy's pick. Sammy, Defensive Player of the Year. He's got Aiden Hutchinson coming back from that major leg injury, coming back and winning Defensive Player of the Year. I think if Aiden Hutchinson wins Defensive Player of the Year this year, he's not only going to win Defensive Player of the Year, but he's also going to win Comeback Player of the Year if he has a year like that, considering he just came back from injury. But I like it. I'm a Lions guy, so good pick, Sammy. And I don't say that very often. But let's go to the Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Joe, I alluded to it on a previous episode, who I'm going with. I think this guy is the best bet on the board. You can get him at plus 850, plus 950 at some sports books, and he is going to be the number one running back on one of the most run-heavy offenses in the league. I'm going with Omarion Hampton, the Los Angeles Chargers running back, to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He can do literally everything well as a running back. He's good at pass pro. He's good at pass catching. Obviously, he's a big body running back who can run in between the tackles, and he's got speed to get outside. I think he is the perfect fit for Jim Harbaugh in that Greg Roman offense. I think he's getting over 300 carries this year. He's getting 1,400 plus yards, double-digit touchdowns. I think he's going to upset Ashton Jeanty as the number one running back and win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Joe, who you got Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, I love the Hampton pick. I actually believe that Hampton, from an all-purpose yards perspective, probably leads this running back class, and maybe even, just the class in general from an offensive perspective. I think he's absolutely a shoo-in to go over double-digit touchdowns, whether it's, combining the receiving, rushing, or just rushing alone. Would not surprise me at all. I think he's probably a lock for 2,000 all-purpose yards this year, which is insane.
Crazy.
However, it is almost impossible for a rookie quarterback to not win this award. He would have to play abysmal to not win this award. And I think even though there's a lot of questions in Tennessee, the offensive line there is in question. Can Calvin Ridley be a true number one? He's got Tyler Lockett, who we've seen been decent in the slot. He's aging. He does have, Tony Pollard there, who's an aging running back, but between the tackles. And we saw Cam Ward in the preseason when he did play. The ball went where it needed to go. You liked the throws. You liked the touch. You liked the angles that he took. I think Cam Ward is the shoe-in for Offensive Rookie of the Year because Omarion Hampton, Ashton Jeanty have to do so much extra to upset him where he just has to play top 15 quarterback ball, and he's probably Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and to your point, I mean, last year there was a ton of good options for Offensive Rookie of the Year. We had Malik Neighbors as an option. We had Brian Thomas Jr. We had Brock Bowers as an option. But when you have someone like Jaden Daniels who comes in and performs really, really well as a rookie, as a quarterback, he's the one who's going to get the award. So again, Cam Ward, I think, is off to a little bit of a head start, like you mentioned, because he is a rookie. But we're going to go to Sammy's pick, and I'm not going to lie, I have some beef with Sammy's pick, okay? He picked Ashton Jeanty, okay? And I have no problem with him picking Ashton. Well, I have no problem with him picking Ashton Jeanty. However, a couple weeks ago, we did an episode on Cam Ward, and he literally started off his speech by saying Cam Ward is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, and now he sends us his list, and it's Ashton Jeanty. So, Sammy, if you're watching this, I'm confused, okay? Who is your actual Offensive Rookie of the Year? Because you said it was going to be Cam Ward, and now you got Ashton Jeanty. So I don't know what's going on, okay? So we got a little bit of flip-flopping going on from Sammy, but per usual, okay? That's what Sammy does. He's a flip-flopper, okay? He's a freaking flopper, okay? Anyways, let's go on to Defensive Rookie of the Year, okay? And my Defensive Rookie of the Year is somebody who I was really big on in the draft, okay? This was maybe my favorite defensive player in the draft. I am once again going to the Atlanta Falcons, and I'm going with Jalen Walker, the edge / linebacker from the Atlanta Falcons. I think he's going to have an immediate impact on this defense. He can obviously rush the passer. He's got maybe not Micah Parsons level ability off of the edge, but he's in that similar mold. He's going to speed rush off the edge, and he's going to get to the quarterback a lot this year, and he can also play a really high level off-ball linebacker as well. And two, the talent is obviously there, and I love the culture that he's going to bring to this Atlanta Falcons defense. I think he's going to get around double-digit sacks, have a really big impact for these Atlanta Falcons, a team that's been desperate for pass rush, basically since they had Vic Beasley in their Super Bowl season. That's how desperate these guys have been for pass rush. I think they're going to get it this year out of Jalen Walker. And Joe, I think Jalen Walker is going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
It's a good pick. I like Jalen Walker as well. We talked extensively about Jalen Walker when we were doing our draft rankings and a lot of our positional guys you should look out for. Like I said, you were high on him. However, unfortunately for him, Jahdae Barron is playing opposite Patrick Surtain, which means he's going to get a lot of targets. And honestly, that man is absolutely going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, because I don't know how this man does not absolutely get tons of targets and absolutely perform. This is probably the scariest, youngest, sustainable cornerback duo in the NFL you can ever want. I mean, you have Patrick Surtain, who just won Defensive Player of the Year last year. Put him next to Jeanty Barron, who the cornerbacks coach and defensive coordinator already called a generational player, right? Like, can't miss prospect. That's Jeanty Barron. Jeanty Barron is going to have his opportunities to absolutely dominate against probably the number 2 wide receiver of every team, because Patrick Surtain is going to get the other one. Or they just do and say, hey, don't follow anybody. Just stay on your side of the field. You guys split it. We'll go single high safety and we'll bring extra people the whole time because we trust you guys to go one-on-one. That is the kind of defense Denver is going to be running this year, and Jeanty Barron is winning Defensive Rookie of the Year because of that.
I love that pick, Joe. Like you mentioned, people are not going to want to test Surtain, and who the hell else are you going to test besides Jeanty Barron at that point? You know, like, you kind of have to. So, yeah, that's a great pick. And going back to kind of previous points we made on the Denver Broncos, that is a dangerous, dangerous team this year. I saw some people like predict them to miss the playoffs. I don't see that in Denver unless they have just a major amount of injuries. Yeah, a major amount of injuries.
Yeah, have to throw. But he's never been a turnover quarterback, so I don't understand.
No. Yeah, I don't get it either. I think the Broncos are a shoo-in for a playoff spot, and we talked about it previously. I think they could easily compete for that division. Sammy's pick for Defensive Rookie of the Year, Malachi Starks, a pick that I really, really like. I think he's going to come in immediately and have an impact on the Baltimore Ravens. It's crazy that Malachi Starks even slid all the way down to the Baltimore Ravens in that draft. That him and Kyle Hamilton are going to form, in my opinion, one of the best safety duos in the NFL in Baltimore. So I do like that pick, Sammy, as far as your Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Are you feeling okay?
Huh?
You said you like Sammy's picks like 4 times now.
Yeah. Oh,
are you
damn.
Feeling good?
No, not anymore. Now that you bring it up, I'm feeling terrible. I'm now feeling really bad about myself because I've been agreeing with Sammy too much. So, psych, bad pick, Sammy. That was an atrocious selection on your part. But let's move. Yes, the worst. Let's go on to Coach of the Year now. And again, if you watched any of our previous episodes, if you watched the NFC North episode, if you just watched our Super Bowl prediction episode as well, where we broke down everybody who we thought was going to make the playoffs and who we thought our division winners were going to be, this pick is going to be pretty obvious to you. I got Ben Johnson winning Coach of the Year. If Ben Johnson does what I say he's going to do, which is lead the Bears to a division title, which is lead the Bears to 11 wins, which is get them to 3 seed and win a playoff game, he's going to be the runaway Coach of the Year in the NFL, because again, turning the Bears franchise around, it would be something special, something to behold. And again, he's got the talent to do it. He's got the talent at quarterback, dramatically improved offensive line, bunch of weapons. Defense is going to be better this year. I'm a little bit concerned about the running back room. I'm not huge on DeAndre Swift or Roshan Johnson or anybody like that, but I think they're going to be able to run the ball well because of Ben Johnson's system. So I think Ben Johnson's going to come in. He's going to win a lot of games for the Chicago Bears, and he is going to be the Coach of the Year in the NFL, Joe.
Hey, I like it. And, I believe Colston Loveland's also there in Chicago as well. And we've seen what Ben Johnson can do with tight ends. So be tracking that as a dark horse for Offensive Rookie of the Year, people. However, I'm almost on the same page with you. It's going to be whichever one of these coaches takes their team to the playoffs. If it's Pete Carroll and the Raiders, if it's, Mike Vrabel and the Patriots, if it's Ben Johnson and the Bears, whichever one of these teams gets the higher playoff standing with the better record, that's who's going to win this thing right now. And personally, I looked back at my standings and none of them made the playoffs in either of my things. So it's kind of funny. So as of right now, I know I have the Patriots listed here. I mentioned the Chargers. I did not mention the Bears. I think Ben Johnson has an argument that he could get them there, but we haven't seen it yet. I think that this is a Pete Carroll, Mike Vrabel opportunity. And you know what? I'll make the decision right now. I'm wearing my Patriots hat, and that's why I'm going to go with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's going to be your Coach of the Year, because fuck Homer picks. As much as I want the Patriots in the playoffs, I can't do it.
You always just the pessimistic view is just how you live life. It's just honestly, never get your expectations high.
If I keep the expectations low and I meet them, it happened. If they go above, I'm pleasantly surprised, but I'm never ever blindsided by depression and disappointment, because I just live in a constant state of it when it comes to my fandom.
Because that's just how you exist.
Just who I am, man.
in depression and disappointment. Wow, we got very morbid on today's episode. That's great. Speaking of,
I'm sitting here wearing my Ted Lasso Believe shirt.
depression and disappointment wearing a shirt that says believe on it. But speaking of depression and disappointment, Sammy wrote for Coach of the Year Brian Johnson. So I don't know if he's a big fan of AC/DC or he doesn't know the name of the Chicago Bears head coach. But I'm pretty sure he was also picking Ben Johnson for Coach of the Year. So, but again, if he's picking Ben Johnson, that's a great pick. Or if he's just trying to shout out AC/DC, weird time to do it, Sammy. What a strange opportunity to shout out the lead singer for AC/DC. But let's move on. Again, this is our final award, Joe. The final award is the most valuable player in the NFL. And again, if you saw our previous episodes, you know we've been agreeing way too much. Way too much for my personal comfort, okay? So I was going to come in here and say, Josh Allen's going back-to-back. Oh, he's going to be like Drake, going back-to-back. You going back-to-back. No, he's not going back-to-back anymore because I know who these guys are going to pick, so I'm not doing it anymore, okay? So I'm going with a dark horse, okay? Someone who I've been big on this offseason, somebody who I think his passing ability gets slept on, someone who I think his entire ability as a quarterback gets slept on, and someone who everybody was bigging up his running back for MVP last year. But I think Jalen Hurts is going to shock the world and come out, throw for 30 plus touchdowns. He's going to run for 15 plus touchdowns. He's going to lead the Philadelphia Eagles to the number 1 seed in the NFC. And again, people are going to be shocked by this pick. Oh, he's picking Jalen Hurts to win the MVP, blah, blah, blah. Jalen Hurts already has a second place MVP finish on his resume. He would have won that MVP as well in 2022 if he didn't get hurt. So again, we're not going to pretend like Jalen Hurts hasn't been an MVP caliber player before. I think he is going to be that this year. And I think Jalen Hurts is going to win his first MVP, Joe. Jalen Hurts is going to be the NFL MVP.
Hey, I mean, it's a good pick. I just want to clarify. You didn't have Jalen Hurts on a fantasy football team, do you? Just want to make sure you're not trying to like manifest something here. Like
no, I do not.
Okay.
No.
Well, I'm trying to manifest some fucking victories for my fantasy football team, and that's why I'm picking Josh Allen, all right? Josh Allen's winning the MVP, baby. I need you, buddy. I need you, all right? I need you to do this for me. You need to have a career year. You need to take the Bills to the Super Bowl. Not win, because I'm a Patriots fan. I can't have that. But you need to do it all before you get there. And that is why Josh Allen's going to win MVP. There's no stats that he put out there. It's purely biased. Fantasy football team. Josh Allen, please. I need it.
And hey, the league that we're in, by the way, I'm gonna need you after the show to tell me whether or not you're accepting that trade that I sent you. But in the league that we're in, I have Josh Allen as well. So I also need Josh Allen to go off and win me a championship. In our league, by the way, it will be the second straight championship because I won the league last year. Absolutely dominated any and everyone that came into my path. But anyways, okay. Sammy also has Josh Allen as the MVP. Okay, Sammy has Josh Allen as the MVP too. And now you know why I changed my pick to Jalen Hurts, because I do not want to agree with these guys. So I picked Jalen Hurts to win MVP. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We just predicted all the major awards for the NFL in 2025. Comment down below who your MVP is. Comment down below your Offensive Rookie of the Year. All the awards that you think are going to be won in the NFL this year. And we'll catch you on the next one.
This has been Between the Uprights. Football is life. The rest is just details.